great deer season and you have a little extra meat in the freezer, maybe you should consider this. So today I'm back in my hometown of Mount Washington. I'm here with Sandy Lentz. And Sandy, about 30 years ago, you made some deer jerky for me that changed my way of thinking about deer jerky. It was very unique in a lot of ways. And today we're going to make that deer jerky. And I bet it'll be just as good as it was 30 years ago.
Well, I hope.
Tell me a little bit about your the jerky that you make. And there's one thing that's really unique about it, and that is how you actually dry it.
Well, I dry it in my oven.
You dry it in the oven?
Dry it in the oven. Don't have a dehydrator, and I think it's quicker, really, to me.
You also have a recipe that you make your marinade out of that is really smoky and it's salty, and it's got a lot of flavor. It's really, really good. And I want you to show me how I can make that in my house.
Okay, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. It takes about 15 ingredients.
Okay.
Mix them all up and put your meat in there, marinate it for 24 hours.
What type of cuts do you like to use?
I use shoulders, roasts, tenderloin, steak even.
Okay.
You know, anything you can cut in strips like 3 to 4 inches long and about 1 inch wide.
You've already done some steps here. You've taken some shoulder and some backstrap and you've cut this deer up into strips, right? So once you get this all cut up, what do you got here? A couple pounds, probably?
Yes, and that's what the recipe calls for, is 2 pounds.
2 pounds, okay. So once you get your meat all cut and strips, what's the next process?
Okay, the next is I mix up my batch of marinade.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, and I use this little recipe that you remember.
I've seen this recipe before.
So we're going to use 1.5 teaspoons of the salt.
All right, 1.5 teaspoons of salt.
And I usually do the dry ingredients first. Onion salt is 1 teaspoon.
Now we need garlic salt.
And that calls for 1 teaspoon also.
1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Gotta have all the peppers in there.
It calls for a lot of pepper. Let's see.
1/4 of red pepper. Now we need 1 teaspoon of white pepper. There you go.
Okay.
1/2 teaspoon of meat tenderizer. 1 teaspoon celery salt. Yep. Now we're going to move to the wet ingredients, which starts with lemon juice. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. 1 teaspoon of, there it is, kitchen bouquet, whatever that is.
You didn't know what it was. But I think that gives it that dark.
Now, 1/3 cup of water. All right. 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce. All right.
That right. And then I gotta go with a spoon.
Yeah, that's not gonna want to come out of there real quick, is it? Now, 1/3 cup of Worcestershire sauce.
It seems like a lot, doesn't it?
You know what though? We're gonna soak a lot of meat in here. 2 pounds already sliced up. It's quite a bit. We need 1/3 cup of soy sauce.
And I think there's 1 left.
And now we just need the liquid smoke.
Okay.
It already smells like jerky. So
Yeah,
you crack the
that's
lid
exactly
of this,
right.
it says, man, this is jerky. All right, now once you get that done, you're going to mix this all up really good.
Make sure it's mixed up good.
So you just start laying that in and mixing it in there.
Get my bigger ones first if I can, you know, because it cooks more evenly if you've got them all the same size.
So I know you really like jerky, and your family really likes to eat jerky. You've been making this for a long, long time. But something you haven't been doing for a long, long time is hunting. But this is your deer, isn't it?
This is my deer. That's exactly right. My first deer.
Your first deer. You started deer hunting last year, right?
I did. All right. I think that's about 2 pounds, and that's really all you need. I can just make more.
Make more later on. Okay. So once you get this all mixed up in there and it's completely coated, now what do you do?
Well, I'm going to put a lid on it, and it's going to go in the refrigerator for 24 hours.
Okay.
And every now and then I go in there and shake it or stir it up.
Okay.
And that's all it is till you wait your 24 hours, and then you start hanging it and drying it.
Well, let's get it in the refrigerator.
All right.
All right, so you already have some that has been marinating for 24 hours, right?
I do. This
All right. We'll take this over here and we'll look at the next step here.
So the next thing you do is you're going to squeeze some of this excess juice out of it because you don't want it dripping in your oven.
Okay.
too much. I mean, it's going to drip some, but I just
Well, once it
and
drips
these are
off
very
there.
long, so you just squeeze them out.
All right. And you're just squeezing the excess marinade off.
And lay that out in strips.
Now all our meat has been squeezed off. We've got the excess marinade off. We're ready to go to the oven.
Right.
And you got a little something you do to prep the oven for this as well, right?
I do. I usually put wax paper down because it's going to drip as you're hanging.
Okay. Well, I'll get the meat and we'll start getting the oven ready.
Strips right here where I know I'm going to have. All right, next step, Chad, is I just run a toothpick down about an inch or so because I don't want it to slide up. I do my longest strips at the back,
Okay.
and you don't want your meat touching the racks.
So you don't want any meat touching each other and none touching the rack. So you're literally just using a toothpick to suspend this meat
Exactly.
on the rack. Okay.
Now, shorter ones I usually do in the front because they're going to get done first. That's all there is to it.
So now once you get that in there and hung and ready to go,
I'm going to pop
you
it
just
open.
stuck that little spoon in there to keep it from closing. So you've got some airflow here.
Right.
Okay.
And we're going to turn it on, and the lowest setting you can turn it on. Mine's only goes to 175.
All right. If you have an oven that'll go to 165 or 1.
If you can go lower, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But now I've been doing it on 175, and in 4 to 5 hours, it's pretty good.
Well, Sandy, it's been right at 5 hours now. What do you think?
I think we could check it and see what we got. It looks like it's getting done.
Here, I'll get this pan out here.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to start pulling them out then, Chad.
All right. Man, they smell fantastic.
It's hard to pull the rack out because you're done with that now. And
So as you can tell, it's a little bit brittle, but it's done all the way through.
all right, and then the only thing I have to do is just remove those toothpicks and.
Well, get your bowl over here. We'll start taking
Yeah.
toothpicks out.
Alrighty, I'll get her finished. There we go. Alright, first batch is done there.
Now, think it's ready to try?
Go ahead.
I'll get a little piece here. Want to try a piece?
Alrighty.
It looks great. Exactly how I remember it. I can't wait.
good.
I can't wait to put some in a baggie on my next fishing trip. I highly recommend giving this a try. You don't need to have a dehydrator. You can do it right there in the oven, and it makes great jerky. Thank you.
Glad you enjoyed it. Well, you're
Appreciate it.
welcome.